The quantum radar screamed a warning as Commander Elena Blackwood stared at the approaching anomaly through the Stellar Defense Station's observation deck. The massive energy signature dwarfed anything humanity had ever encountered, and it was heading straight for Earth. Her grip tightened on the command console as Lieutenant Marcus Torres rushed into the control room. "Commander, the anomaly just accelerated. Impact in 6 hours instead of 12, Marcus reported, his dark eyes reflecting the emergency lights that bathed the station in crimson. Elena's mind raced through their options. The United Earth Defense Force had prepared for asteroids, solar flares, even potential alien invasions, but this was different. The anomaly defied physical laws, changing course in ways that suggested intelligence. "Get me Admiral Patel," Elena ordered, her voice steady despite the chaos unfolding around her. "And someone explain why our deep space detection grid didn't pick this up sooner." Chief Science Officer Dmitry Volkov's fingers flew across his holographic interface. "The signature's masked somehow. It's like it exists in multiple dimensions simultaneously. Our standard detection protocols weren't designed for this." The Admiral's weathered face appeared on the main screen, looking as grim as Elena felt. "Commander Blackwood, I assume you're tracking our visitor?" "Yes, sir. Request permission to deploy the Aegis protocol." A heavy silence fell over the command center. The Aegis protocol was humanity's last resort, a network of experimental quantum defense platforms that could theoretically create a shield around Earth. The only problem? It had never been tested at full power. Admiral Patel's expression hardened. "Granted. But Elena, if this fails, you need to be ready for Protocol Omega." Protocol Omega. The evacuation of Earth's leadership and genetic seed banks to the Mars colonies. The admission of defeat. Elena's jaw clenched. "Understood, sir. But it won't come to that." As the Admiral's image faded, Elena turned to her crew. "Initialize Aegis stations 1 through 12. Full power. Dmitry, I want everything we know about that anomaly. Marcus, coordinate with Global Defense Forces. If this thing breaks through, we hit it with everything we've got." The next 4 hours were a blur of activity. The Aegis platforms hummed to life around the globe, their quantum matrices synchronizing in preparation for the biggest test of human technology in history. Elena watched the countdown tick away, each second bringing the mysterious threat closer to home. Then, something unexpected happened. "Commander." Dimitri's voice cracked with excitement. "We're receiving a transmission from the anomaly." Elena's heart skipped a beat. "Put it through." The message that filled their communications array wasn't in any human language. Instead, it was pure mathematics, elegant equations that spoke of vast distances and impossible geometries. But buried within the mathematical symphony was something else, a warning. "It's saying." Dmitry worked frantically to decode the message, "It's saying there's something coming. Something worse. The anomaly, it's not a weapon. It's a messenger." Before Elena could process this information, the anomaly suddenly changed course. It accelerated past Earth's orbit, then stopped abruptly near Jupiter. There, it began to pulse with energy in a precise pattern. "Second signature detected," Marcus shouted. "Much larger than the first. Breaking through. Through what appears to be a dimensional barrier." Elena watched in awe as space itself seemed to tear open, revealing a darkness that didn't belong in their reality. From that darkness emerged shapes, massive ships of unknown design, their surfaces rippling like liquid metal. The original anomaly pulsed again, and this time its message was clear: "The harvesters have found you. We offer aid, but your species must prove worthy. Commander Elena Blackwood, you have been chosen as humanity's representative. The price of our assistance is high, you must merge with our technology, becoming something neither human nor alien. The choice must be made now." Elena looked at the approaching fleet of harvester ships, then at the holographic display showing Earth, beautiful, vulnerable Earth. 7 billion lives hanging in the balance. The choice wasn't really a choice at all. I accept, she said firmly. The anomaly's response was immediate. Energy surged through the station, enveloping Elena in a cocoon of light. She felt her consciousness expanding, touching minds and technologies far beyond human understanding. Knowledge flooded her awareness. The harvesters had destroyed countless civilizations, converting entire galaxies into energy for their endless consumption. The anomaly was a remnant of one such civilization, preserved by beings even more ancient, waiting for a species with the potential to stop the cosmic cycle of destruction. As the transformation took hold, Elena realized this was just the beginning. Humanity would never be the same after this day. Neither would she. But as the power of ancient stars flowed through her veins and the secrets of the universe unfurled in her mind, she knew one thing with absolute certainty: Earth would not fall. Not while she stood watch. The real question was, what would humanity become in the process of saving itself? The transformation left Elena hovering in the space between dimensions. Her consciousness expanded beyond anything a human mind was meant to comprehend. Through newly awakened senses, she perceived the harvester fleet as a cancer in the fabric of space-time, a malignant force consuming everything in its path. But she also sensed something else, a network of dormant technology scattered throughout the solar system, waiting to be awakened. Lieutenant Marcus Torres watched in amazement as his commander's form shifted and changed, her body becoming a vessel for energies beyond human understanding. Streams of light coursed through her veins, and her eyes now held the depth of galaxies. When she spoke, her voice carried harmonics that made the station's quantum computers resonate in sympathy. The Ancient Ones left us more than just warnings, Elena said, her words somehow reaching everyone on the station simultaneously. They left us weapons. Tools. A chance. Dmitry Volkov's instruments were going haywire, trying to measure energy signatures that shouldn't exist. Commander, or whatever you are now, the Harvester fleet is launching their first wave. 30 ships, heading straight for Earth's defensive perimeter. Elena raised her hand, and holographic displays materialized around her, showing the entire solar system in perfect detail. There, she pointed to Jupiter's moon Europa. The ice hides more than an ocean. It guards the key to humanity's survival. Admiral Patel's voice crackled through the command channel. Commander Blackwood, if you can still understand me, we need options. The Aegis platforms won't hold against this kind of firepower. Scramble the Titan fleet, Elena commanded. Have them rendezvous at Europa. I'll transmit coordinates to a specific location. But first. She turned her attention to the approaching harvester vessels. Energy surged through the defense station as Elena connected with the Aegis platforms. The quantum shields around Earth didn't just strengthen, they evolved, becoming something that existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously. The first wave of harvester ships slammed into this new defense and found themselves trapped between planes of reality. That will hold them, temporarily, Elena announced. But we need to move quickly. The harvesters will adapt. They always adapt. Within hours, humanity's most advanced ships gathered at Europa. The Titan fleet, 12 massive vessels representing the peak of human engineering, held position above the icy moon. Elena had transferred her consciousness there, leaving her transformed physical form aboard the defense station to maintain the shields. Through the fleet's sensors, she located what she was searching for, a specific pattern of crystalline structures deep within Europa's ice, invisible to normal detection methods. The knowledge gifted to her by the anomaly told her exactly what it was, a key to awakening something vast and ancient. All ships, maintain position, she ordered. This next part is delicate. If we don't get it exactly right, we could shatter the moon. Using her connection to the ancient technology, Elena began to sing. It wasn't music in any human sense, but rather a complex pattern of quantum fluctuations that resonated with the crystalline structures below. The ice of Europa began to glow with an inner light, patterns of energy spreading across its surface like luminescent veins. Captain Yuki Tanaka of the flagship Titan I watched in awe as her instruments detected movement deep within the moon. Something's rising from the subsurface ocean. Something big. The ice cracked and shifted as a massive structure began to emerge, a city-sized complex of impossible architecture, its surface marked with the same flowing symbols that now covered Elena's transformed body. As it breached the surface, the structure didn't break Europa's ice so much as phase through it, existing partially in other dimensions. The Nexus, Elena's voice echoed through the fleet's communication systems. One of 7 created by the Ancient Ones to combat the Harvesters. But using it requires a price, one that humanity must choose to pay willingly. Admiral Patel, watching via quantum feed from Earth, asked the question everyone was thinking: what price? Evolution, Elena replied. Forced advancement beyond our current physical forms. The Nexus doesn't just fight the Harvesters, it transforms those who use it. Just as I was transformed. Humanity would survive, but we would become something different. The Admiral's face showed the weight of this decision. How different? Before Elena could answer, alarms blared throughout the fleet. The Harvesters had broken through the first layer of Earth's quantum shields. Worse, they had adapted their weapons, learning from each encounter. Their next assault would be devastating. We don't have time for a debate, Elena stated firmly. The Harvesters will reach Earth in less than 6 hours. They'll strip our planet down to its core, converting all matter, including every living thing, into energy for their consumption. We either evolve, or we die. Captain Tanaka stepped forward on her bridge. I volunteer. Show us what needs to be done. One by one, other captains and crew members voiced their agreement. They had all seen what Elena had become, powerful beyond imagination, yet still recognizably human in the ways that mattered most. If this was the price of survival, they would pay it. Elena's consciousness reached out to each volunteer, preparing them for what was to come. The transformation will be different for each of you, she explained. The Nexus adapts to individual potential. Some will become living weapons, others will develop the ability to manipulate spacetime itself. All of you will be changed forever. As the Nexus hummed to life, its ancient machinery awakening after eons of dormancy, Elena felt a moment of profound sadness for the humanity they were about to leave behind. But in that sadness was also hope, hope for something greater than they had ever imagined possible. The transformation began, and the sky above Europa lit up with the power of 1,000 suns. The transformation wave swept through the Titan fleet, rewriting the very essence of human biology. Captain Tanaka felt herself dissolving and reforming, her consciousness expanding to touch dimensions she had never known existed. Around her, her crew underwent similar metamorphoses, each changing in unique ways that reflected their inner natures. Through their new awareness, they could sense the Harvester's approach, a void in the cosmic web, consuming everything in their path. But they could also feel the power of the Nexus flowing through them, offering possibilities that defied imagination. Elena's consciousness touched each of them, guiding the transformation. The Nexus responds to intent and will, her thoughts echoed in their expanded minds. Learn quickly. We have little time. Commander Viktor Petrov, once Titan III's tactical officer, discovered he could now perceive the quantum probability of every possible action, calculating combat solutions that existed beyond normal spacetime. His body had become a living quantum computer, processing reality itself as data. Chief Engineer Amara Okafor found herself able to merge with and control technology at a fundamental level. The ship's systems weren't just machines anymore, they were extensions of her consciousness, responding to her thoughts with perfect precision. Captain Tanaka emerged from her transformation with the ability to manipulate gravitational fields, bending space itself to her will. As she tested her new powers, her ship's hull rippled and transformed, becoming something that was neither purely organic nor mechanical, but a perfect synthesis of both. "The fleet is ready," Tanaka announced, her voice carrying undertones that made reality shiver. "But Elena, there's something else, isn't there? Something you haven't told us about the Nexus." Elena's presence focused on Tanaka, acknowledging the truth she had sensed. "Yes. The Nexus isn't just a weapon or a transformation engine. It's a key, one of 7 spread throughout the galaxy. When all 7 are activated, they can reshape reality itself." Dmitri completed the thought, his transformed consciousness now able to grasp concepts that would have broken his human mind. "That's why the Harvesters are really here. They don't just want Earth, they want to prevent us from finding the other Nexus points." A massive shock wave rippled through space as the Harvesters launched their assault on Earth's remaining defenses. The quantum shields held, but they were weakening. Humanity's homeworld had perhaps an hour left before the barriers fell. "Enough theory," Elena commanded. "Everyone, connect with the Nexus. Feel its power becoming part of you. We strike now." The transformed fleet moved as one, their ships now living extensions of their evolved consciousness. They didn't just fly through space, they bent it, creating shortcuts through dimensions that human science had never imagined. They emerged behind the Harvester fleet in perfect attack formation. The battle that followed defied conventional description. Victor's quantum-enhanced battle strategies allowed him to predict and counter the Harvester's adaptive capabilities. Amara's technology manipulation turned their own weapons against them, while Tanaka's gravity control crushed entire enemy ships into singularities. But the Harvesters were ancient and powerful, with experience fighting countless civilizations. They began to adapt, their ships splitting into smaller units that could slip through dimensional cracks. Some managed to reach Earth's atmosphere, their weapons leaving burning scars across the planet's surface. "They're targeting population centers." Admiral Patel's voice cut through the chaos. "Beijing and New Delhi are already hit. We're looking at millions of casualties." Elena's rage manifested as pure energy, shattering a wing of Harvester ships. "Everyone, full power. Channel everything through the Nexus. We end this now." The transformed humans linked their consciousness through the Nexus, becoming a singular entity of unimaginable power. Together, they reached into the fabric of space-time itself, seeking the fundamental forces that bound reality together. "Wait." Dimitri's warning came too late. "The power levels are exceeding the Nexus's safety limits." Energy cascaded through their linked minds as the Nexus began to overload. But instead of destroying them, it pushed their transformation even further. Their consciousness expanded beyond individual identity, beyond human conception of self. They became aware of patterns in the universe that no mortal mind was meant to comprehend. Through this expanded awareness, they finally understood what they were truly fighting. The Harvesters weren't just consuming worlds, they were trying to prevent something. Something that the Ancient Ones had set in motion eons ago, when they created the 7 Nexus points. "They're afraid," Elena realized, her thoughts reaching all of them. "Not of what we are, but of what we might become." As if in response to this revelation, the Nexus pulsed with new power. Streams of energy connected the transformed humans, their ships, and the ancient structure in patterns that mirrored the fundamental geometry of the universe itself. In that moment, they weren't just fighting the Harvesters, they were fighting against the very laws of reality that kept humanity bound to its current state of existence. The Harvesters launched a desperate final assault, concentrating all their remaining ships into a single massive strike at the Nexus. But now the transformed fleet understood what they were truly capable of. Together, they reached out, not to destroy the Harvester ships, but to fundamentally change them. Space itself seemed to hold its breath as two forces, one seeking to consume, one seeking to transform, clashed in a battle that would determine not just Earth's fate, but the destiny of all sentient life in the galaxy. The universe watched, and waited. The collision of transformative energies created a spectacle visible across the solar system. Where the Harvester's void-black ships met the transformed fleet's dimensional manipulations, reality itself buckled and warped. Through their expanded consciousness, Elena and her transformed companions could perceive the battle on multiple levels simultaneously: physical, quantum, and something else entirely, a layer of existence where pure information shaped the nature of reality. Back on Earth, Admiral Patel watched through enhanced sensors as humanity's transformed defenders wielded powers that made mockery of natural law. But he also saw the cost. Each use of these impossible abilities left traces in spacetime, cracks in the foundation of reality itself. "Elena," he transmitted, "our quantum physicists are detecting severe distortions in the fabric of spacetime. If this continues..." "I know," Elena's response came, her voice resonating with harmonics that made quantum computers worldwide resonate in sympathy. "The power we're using, it was never meant to be contained. The Ancient Ones didn't just create the Nexus as a weapon. It's a key to unlocking the next stage of universal evolution." Through their linked consciousness, Captain Tanaka suddenly understood. The 7 Nexus points, they're not separate devices. They're parts of a single system, aren't they? A system designed to fundamentally alter the nature of existence itself. "Yes," Elena confirmed. "And now we know why the Harvesters have spent eons consuming civilizations. They're trying to gather enough energy to prevent that change. They want to keep reality locked in its current state, a state they can control and exploit." The battle continued to escalate. Victor's quantum-enhanced strategies became increasingly complex, predicting and countering the Harvester's adaptive capabilities across multiple timelines simultaneously. Amara's technology manipulation had evolved to the point where she could rewrite the fundamental programming of space itself, turning regions of the battlefield into zones where the Harvester's weapons simply ceased to exist. But the enemy was far from defeated. The Harvester fleet began to merge their ships into massive structures, creating geometric patterns that somehow dampened the effects of the transformed humans' powers. Their counterattack came not as weapons fire, but as waves of anti-energy that threatened to unravel the very changes the Nexus had wrought. "They're trying to force us back to our original state," Dmitri realized, his consciousness barely maintaining cohesion under the assault. "If they succeed, we lose everything, not just our new abilities, but our understanding of what's really at stake." Elena's transformed presence expanded, shielding her companions from the worst of the anti-evolution wave. "Then we have to make a choice. Right now. We can either retreat, try to find another way to fight them conventionally. Or..." Admiral Patel prompted, though from his tone, he already suspected the answer. "Or we complete what the Ancient Ones started. We find the other 6 Nexus points and activate them all. Not just to fight the Harvesters, but to force the universe itself to evolve. Every living thing, every particle of matter, everything would be transformed. There would be no going back." The implications hit everyone simultaneously. This wasn't just about saving Earth anymore. It wasn't even about defeating the Harvesters. This was about fundamentally changing the nature of existence itself. "The human race would cease to exist as we know it," Tanaka said softly. "Everything would change. We're talking about forcing evolution on an entire universe." Admiral Patel's voice was heavy with the weight of such a decision. "Do we have that right?" A massive blast from the Harvester fleet breached Earth's outer defensive shields, the anti-evolution wave spreading across the planet's surface. Everywhere it touched, transformed humans felt their new powers weaken, their expanded consciousness beginning to contract. "They're not giving us much choice," Victor observed, his quantum calculations showing their chances of conventional victory dropping to near zero. Elena's presence touched each of their minds, sharing not just thoughts but the full depth of understanding she had gained since her initial transformation. Through her, they saw the universe as the Ancient Ones had seen it, not as a finished creation, but as a work in progress, a cosmic evolutionary algorithm waiting for the right catalyst to reach its next iteration. The harvesters aren't evil, she explained. They're afraid. They've spent eons building their power, their perfect system of consumption and control. Evolution threatens that system. Change threatens that system. We threaten that system. Another blast rocked the fleet. More of Earth's defenders felt their powers failing as the anti-evolution wave intensified. They had minutes, at most, before the transformation began to reverse. I need an answer, Elena pressed. Do we retreat, try to find another way? Or do we commit fully to this path? Everyone needs to choose. I won't force this evolution on anyone. One by one, the transformed humans made their choice. Some, overwhelmed by the implications, chose to retreat. Others, seeing a glimpse of what could be, chose to push forward. The fleet split, those seeking to maintain their humanity falling back while those embracing cosmic evolution pressed their attack. Admiral Patel, watching from Earth as reality itself seemed to hang in the balance, made the final call. Do it. If we're going to change, let's make it count. All units, protect the Nexus at all costs. Give them time to find the coordinates of the other points. The universe held its breath as humanity faced its moment of ultimate choice, remain as they were and face extinction, or embrace an evolution that would rewrite the very foundations of reality. Elena reached out to the Nexus, preparing to take the step from which there could be no return.